Hello everyone, it's me, Man Alone, the only YouTube channel that is on YouTube. All the other ones are gone. Thank you for joining me, my sweet peas. And I promise you that this can of sweet peas is going to be one of the most important cans of sweet peas you've ever seen in your life. I am very excited to talk about a competition, maybe you'd call it. I think of it's more of like just a fun little contest, a raffle. Who knows? But there's going to be some fabulous prizes that I want to talk about today. Now, if you are a watcher of this channel, you know that I'll usually start a video by waffling a bit. And there is some waffling to do today. However, because I want to make sure that we get down to brass tacks and make sure everyone knows about this contest, I'm going to talk about that first, and then we're going to waffle at the end. And I must say, and I know this might be tough news for some of you, it's going to be a heavy waffle today. I've got a lot to carry on about. But just in case you're just here to hear the details and that's it, let me say this at the front end. So, pretty much... if you have watched this channel in the last 2 or 3 weeks, you know that Tower House Creative, the creator of the wonderful Fate Mill D20 Oracle die, has been just hang with me. I know you think you're about to hear something you've heard a bunch of times before, but just stay with me. So Tower House Creative has been generous enough to offer a promo code that was supposed to last until April 12th for 20% off anything in the store, including the Fate Mill or the fabulous winner of the 2024 thing I thought I wouldn't really like, and I actually love it, the Dyadic D20 dice, as well as the System Agnostic Bell Whispers RPG sort of setting, but it's more than that. It's a vibe. It's a very, very cool piece of literature here, and all of this is available on towerhousecreative.com. Again, I know you think you know what I'm about to say. Just hang on, and if you use promo code manalone20, you can get 20% off any of these wonderful things you see here, packed with love, with lots of goodies. They'll get some dice, some stickers, some other stuff. And because we have had so much success with that, the promo code is being extended to the end of solorpg month, which I guess ends on May 12th, which is great. Maybe we'll have some more time for some extra round robins, which that is going extremely well. Make sure you check out the links below to see where we are with that. I think we're on episode 6 or 7 now. Wow, it's going really well. But... you know, I've been in touch with Tower House Creative. This is like a wonderful small company that really does care about this stuff. And they just, you know, they don't have the money to promote, like have a promotional relationship with me, which is fine. I have like goodies. And if I have goodies, I'm like a very happy boy. But I do really believe in supporting people who have distinct, unique, singular artistic visions and aren't just making stuff that is derivative of other things. They're making things that they want to make. They're putting themselves and their ideas on the line. And I think that's what I see here with Tower House Creative. And I would really like them to get more attention. And, you know, maybe one day they can be a promoter of this channel. You know, like a boxing promoter, like maybe before I come out and do my YouTube video, they can like come out to the ring and really hype up the crowd. Like Paul Bearer did with The Undertaker. Anyways, the reason I'm mentioning all of this is because, you know, we chat, Tower House and myself, we chat, and, you know, because so many of you have participated in the promotion, and presumably many more, an additional Fate Mill has been sent my way. Now, Man Alone, you already have a Fate Mill, correct? I need another, because what if I want to play more than one game? No, I'm just kidding. So this Fate Mill is going to go to one of you. All right. And I have been sitting on this for a while, this and another prize, which I'll talk about in a minute, because I wanted to figure out a good competition to run to figure out the best hands to put this in. Okay. Now, a couple of problems. The first thing is, I just want to say, those of you who've been commenting that like you really want one of these Fate Mills, but the shipping to anywhere but the U.S. is really outrageous. I have been communicating that to Tower House Creative. They are aware. They know. And truly, truly, there is not much that can be done right now. Like, international shipping is unbelievable. There might be some like sort of bulk ordering possibilities later. I'm actually probably heading to Europe at some point in 2024, early 2025. Maybe we could work out something with that, where I bring some over and ship from there or something. But for now, we just don't have the ability to ship this to people outside of the US. However, just kind of thinking outside of the box of like, what can we possibly do for those who enter this competition and aren't able to get the Fate Mill? And so just as a token of like, wanting to connect and thank you for watching the channel and being a part of this, we are going to, if you live outside of the US and you place in this contest, we're going to send a free PDF copy of Bell Whispers to you, which I know it's not as good as having a thing in hand. But again, this is a really wonderful document here. It's a nice thing to own. We'll send that, I don't know through how we'll get it to you, but we'll get it to whoever it is. And so this contest will have, look at this, wonderful tables here. Excellent for solo role-playing, system agnostic, very easily transferable to other environments. And so, yeah, I obviously, I really do wish I could do more. I really feel for those in the comments. Like, I really do. I'm not even doing a bit right now. Like, I have been trying to send stuff internationally, and it's been a real problem. It's extremely expensive. I hope it lets up at some point, but as it is now, it just doesn't make any sense. Even to Canada, this is a $30 shipping, which is more than the product itself. To the UK, it could be $50. Some places in Europe, it's $70. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. You could buy a Fate Mill printing press and print some of these out, but don't do that. Anyways, so this contest, I'll explain what it is. And so just know that Fate Mill is for second place US, or Bell Whispers second place international. I'll tell you the first place prize, but first I just want to say what the actual competition is. So this was inspired by a comment thread that happened on a video the other day, where I think it was my first video of the series that I was trying out called, Can I Roleplay This MFer? Which is taking a non-solo RPG and just kind of paging through it and assessing its possibilities for solo play. That video is doing fairly well. It actually got demonetized for a short amount of time, which is another funny story that I'll tell people about in the waffle segment of this video. But I think that was a pretty cool thing. I enjoyed doing that because I know that it could be tough to get a good solo RPG, and many of you have like other RPGs that you have at home that aren't solo based, and you'd like to play those. So, but anyways, in the comment for this video, somebody was like, "Oh, what do they say? Oh, I like to solo a cookbook. Like I want to see a soloing of a cookbook." And then I said, "Oh yeah, actually, what I really enjoy soloing is a can of Pepsi." And then somebody else was like, "Oh, how about Rogette's Dictionary, or like Thesaurus or something like that?" And so I was very tickled by this little back and forth, and the idea of just like people being so fixated on solo play that they're just like solo playing everything around their house. They're just like picking up their cat and solo playing their cat's tail or whatever. And I was pretty I was pretty fixated on it. And I started as I was moving through my day yesterday and today, I was thinking of like, could I solo that thing? Could I solo, this lamp? And at first it was a joke, and then I started thinking of ways to solo stuff. And so I'm going to open this competition. I'll put the link below. And I would like people to fill this out. It's a couple quick questions. It just says, like, I want you to name something. Oh, I gave it away. I gave away what the winning thing is. All right, I'll say it. So the winner is that Tower House Creative it's in the mail right now. Now, this is mine, but just so everyone knows, the first place is we're going to send out a new Dragonbane starter set by Free League. This is a $55 value that Tower House Creative has been generous enough to donate, and it's going to include all the amazing stuff that you see out here all the time: the cards, the standees, the wonderful dice. It's going to have the adventure book, the player's guide, the beautifully drawn map. It is the starter set to end all starter sets, and it will be the first place winner. If they live in the U.S., will win that. And again, if you live outside of the U.S., and I guess I'll have a first prize U.S. Maybe I'll do like a first prize U.S., first prize domestic, like international, and then second prize U.S., second prize international. So the second prize U.S. will be the Fate Mill. International will be Bell Whispers. First prize U.S. will be the Dragonbane starter set. Second prize, I'll figure that out. I could do a PDF of the starter set for Dragonbane. I suspect that many of you may already have that. But maybe I could figure out a way to get like a gift card for Drive-Thru RPG or something like that. That is comparable in value. I mean, it's not much, but maybe I don't want to promise anything. Maybe $20, 20 US dollars or something like that. Just to make sure that you're in on the fun. I just don't want to make people feel like they're left out. But what I will do is, until the Man Alone 20 promo code ends on midnight on May 12th, I will accept submissions for the I Can Solo Solo Roleplay Anything competition. And I want people to list the funniest, most absurd, most ridiculous thing that they can solo roleplay. You don't actually have to be able to do it, but just like ideas for that. And then, so say that you say, oh, I'm going to solo roleplay, my left hand. And then it's like, the next question will be like, okay, like, what does that look like? And that's just like 1, 2, or 3 sentences of maybe what the rules would be, or like how that would look like. Oh, I'll jiggle my fingers like this, and then the finger that is casts the longest shadow or something. I don't know what it'll be. It doesn't really have to make sense. I just want you to imagine what it might look like, leaving room for the absurdity of the whole thing. And then the tiebreaker would be the question of, if you how would you incorporate the Fate Mill into that play? Now, I know you might say, well, how am I supposed to know? I don't have a Fate Mill. Well, this is the idea expressed through the Fate Mill here is pretty familiar to any solo RPG player, which is just a spectrum of yes and yes, but, no, but, maybe, etc. And so it's a basic or a predictor oracle. And so probably you could look in any variety of solo systems and see that, and just a sentence or two of how you would incorporate the Fate Mill, which I guess you don't have to do, but it would be the tiebreaker. I am then going to put together a panel of 3 people. One will be my girlfriend. One will be one of the players from my home group, like in-person RPG group. And then I'd like for the third person to be a coworker of mine who has absolutely no idea what solo role-playing is or what role-playing is at all, to kind of balance it out. And I will double blind those entries so that they don't see like the names or anything like that, and just have them vote on, maybe their top 5 and then narrow it down or something like that. And then after May 12th, once I sort that out, they vote, I will announce a winner and get in touch with people to see how we can get those prizes out. Now, the disclaimer is shipping is weird, stuff comes up. And so what I want to say is just please understand that I am not making any money off this competition. I am losing money. I am paying for shipping and stuff like that, which I'm happy to do. I'm not like trying to garner sympathy. What I am saying for that is like, please be patient. This is not like a professional giveaway in terms of like the Fate Mill and the Dragonbane set. Like those have come to me, so I'm gonna have to like box those and ship those and figure it out. And I don't believe there'll be any problems. But I tried to ship to someone before that I still feel so terrible about. It's just stuck somewhere in Eastern Europe still. And I feel so bad every time I think of that. I'm so sorry. But anyway, so I hope that there won't be any issues like that, but just so people know and don't like, bring a legal team at me because they are not getting their Bell Whispers email on time. So those are the individual prizes. That's the competition, and I'll put the link below. But here's the group prize, is that if we can get 50 entries, 50, then by May 12th, it has to be different people. Please don't resubmit 12 entries. I will make a video in which I fully, seriously, well, I mean, it'll probably be funny, but like I will apply myself seriously to role playing this can of sweet peas, and I will role play it for at least a half an hour, hopefully 45 minutes to an hour. So that is if 50 of you participate. And I hope we can do that because you have to figure out how to, that I should say that the rules on this is like, this is pretty much like the object and say dice, or the object and playing cards, preferably the object and the Fate Mill, whatever it is. And that's it. If you got to use a sheet of paper to track results or something like that, but it should be, the main thing is rather than an RPG book, you're going to be using some household or otherwise object. So good luck to all competitors if you have some time. I know it sounded kind of complicated, but it really, like, I will just read you the questions right now. What's your YouTube handle? Do you live in the US? What's the funniest, most ridiculous, absurd thing you can think of to solo with? In just a few sentences, what are the rules, or what would a game of this look like? And tiebreaker, how would you incorporate the Fate Mill? So you probably make this submission in like 5 minutes. So I hope we can get 50 because I really want to play this hot new game called Sweet Peas, and I will keep this here until that time. And if we don't hit 50, I will eat this can cold very close to the microphone. And it will be the opposite of ASMR. It'll be like ASSMR. Okay. Ass, mister. So that's that. And any questions? Well, we're not live, so I can't hear, but write it down in the comments. Please, not a lot of questions. These questions, I don't know. I don't know anything. Okay. Let the waffle begin. So, very funny regarding that Root RPG. I had the first instance of this thing that I forgot happens. And it was that I got a copyright notice. It wasn't a strike, so I wasn't in trouble, but it was basically like, hey, there was copyrighted music found on one of your videos. Okay. And I'm like, that's weird, because I remember there was like 2 seconds where a copyrighted song started playing, and I was like, oh crap, and I switched it, because usually I use the YouTube creator playlist, which is a playlist that you can access. It has like thousands of tracks. Most of them aren't great, but they're free. They're royalty free. They're license free. You could use them in your videos. You don't have to split revenue, anything. And regardless of whether I vibe with those songs or not, it is an incredible thing that those individuals put those out there for people to use. And so I was like, what the hell? What is this talking about? And then it said, well, you use this 3-second sound clip that was copyrighted, and because of that, the musician put a claim on your video for Root, the one where I did for Root RPG. It was 57 minutes, and they said this was like 3 to 5 second clip, and they made a claim, and because of that, your video is unmonetized, and that musician will get all the money from that video in perpetuity. They will just, whatever money that video makes for now till the end of time goes to them. And I was furious. Now, to be clear, I think that video, since it's been up, has made 0.02 cents. And probably after a year, it'll make 9 cents. And probably in 5 years, it'll make $2. Okay. So I don't actually care about the money, but the idea that I make a 57-minute video and include a 3-second clip of someone's music, and then why does it do that? I don't know if you could see that, but it just showed balloons every time I make the peace sign. That's okay. I needed that. I was getting upset. It's a 57-minute video, 2 seconds of their song, and they get all the money of that video. Now, I don't depend on this channel for my income, but there are people that do. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Now, a person who is intentionally stealing people's music, I can't imagine that, and I hope that happens. And especially if they're playing entire songs and trying to make money off them. But a 2, 3, 4, 5-second clip of a song that was accidental, how in the hell does that person get all the money of my video? It was so galling to me. And so I was like, I need to see this. Like, I'm going to fight this. You know, I want to see what this was. And it led me to an artist named Alexander Nakarada. And I was like, I've never even heard of this artist. I don't know what in the hell this is talking about. And the song, I forgot what the song was called, but I was like, okay. And I went to the video and like, I couldn't figure out what it was. And so I went to this dude's page and started listening through the music. And as I'm looking at their page suddenly, and I do want to share this, please listen to this whole thing so that you don't brigade this person. Look at the line here. Completely royalty-free music for YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, documentaries, etc. So I was like, wait a minute. This is a person who makes royalty-free music. So how was there by the way, I don't know where this spring came from. I'm just holding it. How's there a copyright claim from somebody who lists that they have royalty-free music? Because any music I use is from YouTube Creator. And if it's not from that, it's from like one of these sites on the internet that's just like, here, copyright-free music. And I scrolled down, and dude has a video like top of page that's like, if you got a copyright strike on my music, click here now. And I clicked there, and he's just this dude sitting, he's in Norway, and he's like, hey, if you got a copyright strike on my video, that's not from me. There are these people who basically try to find, like they crawl and try to find a copyright of my stuff. And then they make a claim on it and pretty much like steal my music because I don't, have it under copyright. And then they make a claim on it and they try to just collect the money from the video. And the amount of claims he has started getting is like skyrocketing. And I really have to applaud him because he was like, I make this music for free and it's for everybody. And the amount of these claims that come up is so ridiculous. And I feel like I have to fight every single one of them. And so what he did is he went ahead and put a content ID on his songs. Now, normally a content ID is used by like record companies or whatever, music. I don't know what the companies are called now. I don't think Tower Records is still hanging around, but they use these content IDs, which are like these unique pattern signatures on songs that they can very quickly just like scroll through any published stuff and find these songs and then put these sort of copyright claims out there and redirect revenue. I don't fully understand it. So if anyone knows better than me, write down in the comments. But essentially he's like, so here's what we're going to do. I put this content ID on it so that now these claim resolutions come directly to me. And if you got this claim, go ahead and fill out this form. He made like a whitelist form, and he's like, I will permanently whitelist your channel so that it no longer sends claims, and that if it ever comes up in the future, I keep a spreadsheet of it. I automatically know if you're on this spreadsheet, and I will just like clear your claim, which I thought was so awesome. And so I hope you can give Alexander here a subscribe, because I think this is really cool. This is a person that is putting this stuff out. Now, I will say one of the things that he does ask is that you just write like a one line of attribution, and I was not doing that. And the reason I wasn't doing that, truly, well, firstly, because I was very early on and just trying to find like music that wouldn't get me sued or whatever. And so I was just like looking on free music and getting what I can get. But the second thing is because I truly did not realize that it was attributable, because I found it on a website that was just like, here's like free riffs. And the best part about it is the music clip that this all involves is one that I just want you to hear. Ready? Close your ears. It's a little loud. That is Alexander Nakarada. And that was and so I think now that I'm whitelisted, I could just sort of attribute going forward. I will put that attribution in there, and I will go back. I think this weekend I'm going to try and go back and just put that in the description of every video. But hopefully that does not happen again. But man, I was so fired up. Whew, I'm still fired up, but it's great. It's a happy ending. I did initially mute the video out of pure spite, because I was like, I don't even care if this video is muted. I just don't want this person to get any money from me. And then I figured out that it was like a whole big kerfuffle. Okay. So that's that. What else do I have to tell you? Oh, speaking of music, I have been getting... This is actually incredible. Oh, I can't wait to tell you about this. So I have been getting, when you put out a YouTube channel that has like your email attached, you get some really fun emails. Like you get some really fun stuff that is just wild. And sometimes I'll read it and I'll be like, I don't know what that means. I don't care. And I don't even want to think about it. And I've been getting some from a person named Chuck Beach or Charles Chuck Beach, and they are very cryptic. They're sort of hilarious, but they're also like a little unhinged. And so I've just kind of been like, hey, thanks for following or whatever, just sort of leaving it at that. Like here's an example of an email from Chuck Beach. I've got you covered, man alone. Don't you worry. I'm your guy with all the right sounds. Hacking up a lung. Gotta go. Charles Chuck Beach. I did actually find what I think is Chuck Beach's SoundCloud. I'll post that down below. Appears to be like dude in maybe his 60s who's just into making tunes and solo role playing, and whatever, teach their own. On a whim, after I got this copyright strike thing, I was just like, man, I should listen to a Chuck Beach song, and just maybe I'll put just a Chuck Beach song over that. And then I listen, and I'm going to go ahead and play some Chuck Beach music here in the back. And all I have to say is Chuck Beach made a 37-minute background song for me, and it's gorgeous. So let me see if I could just let you listen for a minute, then I'll turn it down. This is a 37-minute like ambient, ponderous background music for me to solo roleplay to. And the name of this song, I'm not shitting you, is Man Alone Blues. And so, Chuck, you are the man. And I am sorry that I didn't respond to you more. I'm sorry that I misjudged you, that I rushed to judgment about you based on things that I would never want someone to judge me about, the way you write an email or the words you say, because in truth, people that are out there doing their thing and hacking up lungs and telling people about it when they don't even really know them that well, I gotta be honest, those are my people. Chuck Beach is my people. So thank you, Chuck. Let's just let Chuck, hopefully it's not too loud. I never know what's too loud or what's like not loud enough, because sometimes it's so loud that I turn it down and then I can't, then you all can't hear anything. So we'll see how this goes, but I'll play it again on my next video. So that's Chuck Beach. Okay. Final piece I want to say. See if I can. Is that I did cave to some, I won't call it peer pressure, just maybe like friendly recommendations that were repeated from, let's see here. There we go. From many of you, when I would go and show like some shelves of my local, friendly local game store, I got a lot of comments that were like, is that Fabula Ultima? Oh my God, you should pick that up. And I am not a huge fan of JRPGs, but that's not to say I'm like against them. I've just never really gotten into them, other than like I said, anything that was a JRPG adjacent for like Super Nintendo, PlayStation, etc. I guess Chrono Trigger to an extent, Xenogears, Final Fantasy. But other than that, never got too far into it. But it was, again, it was like an incredible deal for it. And I said, well, what the hell? I should, give it a run here. And also I got like a little thing on it. Anyways, I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. So I don't know much about this. I've just like picked it up. I actually, just unwrapped it. It was wrapped up, and so I haven't really seen inside of it. I'm not able to do much of a review of it because I really don't know what it's all about. But what I will say, and this was like sort of the turning tide on this, was that I was looking for like to see if there's a solo system for it. Now there's no solo in the book, but there are what looks like a lot of tools for solo play. And then I saw a thread on a discussion board that was like, this game is awesome to solo. I've soloed it a bunch of times. The way it's set up makes it really easy for soloing. So I'm curious if any of you have soloed it, and if you have any systems to solo it. If there's anything like, I'll look on drive-through. Obviously, I can like Google stuff, but I just looked right before the video and didn't find anything. This is a very interesting intro here. The 8 pillars of play and world creation. Your world can be high fantasy. Your world can be natural fantasy. Your world can be techno fantasy. Your world could be a romantic. No, I'm just kidding. So it's giving you those options for like the flavor of the world, giving lots of game master rules. It's very seems very straightforward. Honestly, the playing of this, or the rules of this, seem surprisingly simple. In the back, it lists all its inspirational works, which if you pause that, I'm sure you can find stuff that you have seen that you like. Lots of, Xenogears. I loved Xenogears. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's like filling me with a feeling. Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Chrono Trigger. Avatar, Last Airbender, Castle in the Sky. Yeah, I mean, Miyazaki. Nausicaa, Mononoke. Yep. Ruby. Is that how you say that? Ruby? I never know what that is. RWBY. Star Wars. Oh, Star Wars episodes 4 through 6. It just denotes which of those there. Yeah, so Yeah, it's a very clean entry, and it interestingly it also lists everything like the items and the gear and stuff is actually drawn, I think, in like pixel art in a lot of places. I just saw that flipping through earlier. Let me see if I could find this again. Yeah, so here's the attack flow sheet. I love to see flow sheets. Yeah, I could see myself trying to do a solo on this. Maybe I could do that for an upcoming episode of Can I Solo This MFer? 0 hit points. Oh, here we go. Here's like different damage. But it's actually, I thought I saw something that was way more uniquely pixel art. Yeah, like this. That's very cool. What I'm wondering here is, do we have any tables? Threat levels for different areas. I like that. Oh, that's actually a really good system for threat levels. Just make a bigger dice. Okay, sorry. I forgot. I'm filming and like having hypothetically like a interaction with you. Yeah, weapons are cool. This is actually really cool. I'm glad I got this. And it wasn't so expensive. I thought it was going to be really expensive, but it looked like it was on the cheap. Okay, roll d20 for magic and tech, location names, historical events, roll d20. This is all world creation tables, so I'm loving that. I'm loving to see that. Let me pull this up here for you. Group creation, create your identity, adjectives, core concept, details. Friends, this is the solo stuff. A solo thing is happening. Well, I don't want to like spoil it, but maybe since I'm doing this now. Ooh, it's Zweihander. This is so cool. Yeah, this looks like there's a lot of solo stuff in here. So let's put a pin in this, and hopefully I can come back at some other time to give this a shot. And I'm really upset right now. What I've been sort of perseverating on is like, and this is a little nick in the corner here that I didn't notice. I'm really kind of sad about that. All right, that's okay. That's not the most important thing. The last thing I want to say before I waffle on out of here is I saw a video the other day. I'm not going to link it because I don't want it to get traffic. And to be honest, I didn't watch the full thing, but I just saw how it was the opening of the video was like inside the weird world of video games that don't exist. And the whole like tone of it was just so weird, as if it's so strange to write about a video game that doesn't exist. Obviously, well, not obviously. I'm talking specifically what this means to me is Vermis, which these two books are like some of my most treasured books that I have. And if you've never heard of Vermis, it is incredible. It is pretty much a manual to a video game that does not exist. And I just like hated the tone of that video, which was like, what's up with this weird world of people making instruction booklets for games that don't exist? And I'm like, dude, do you understand that do you understand a movie is about like people that don't exist, or a book is about scenarios that don't exist? Like, what is so weird about this? Especially because this is something that you don't get anymore. And so not only is this like a broadening of the form, but it's also has like this really powerful nostalgia for when you're playing a new video game when you were a kid, and they used to have those like player's manuals, and then your mom would send you to bed, but you'd want to keep like staying in that world, so you just like page through and pour over every line of the player's manual, and you'd think, I wonder if there's any hidden characters in this game. I wonder if I could unlock, some different weapons, or I wonder what the boss is. And it's just so cool, and it's such good stuff for generating ideas for solo play. I really recommend this, and so I guess I just wanted to make something in the opposite direction. Maybe I was jumping to conclusions because I didn't watch the whole stupid video. I don't know if it's stupid, but anyways, that's my little pitch here for you to pick up Vermis, Mist, and Mirrors by Placibu, as well as the first one, Lost Dungeons and Forbidden Woods. These, you will not be disappointed. They do They do take quite a while to get there. Who stares back from the dark glass? Which flesh is your flesh? Two essential questions, folks. And I think you know what to do. If you are still watching this, that means you have a high level of affinity. And so you need to fill out that form and tell me what you want to solo RPG so that I can get onto these sweet peas, everybody. All right. That's about it for me. And signing off, this again has been the music of Chuck Beach. And this is the music of Alexander Naranda. Bye.